It's time.
Hey, everybody. We just finished watching UFC 181.
181.
And we just finished watching the main event between Johny Hendricks and Robbie Lawler.
We thought we'd take to the tube. We didn't know where else to go. We didn't know what else to do. We didn't know where else.
We're frankly a little confused. Some of you may be as well.
No one should be angrier than Johny Hendricks. But before we get there, this is brought to you by Bud Light. We're ready for anything.
We're not sponsored by Bud Light, though.
Fuck it. Still, we're just ready for
anything. We're still ready for anything.
We're obviously ready for anything.
You know what we're ready for? We're ready for sponsorship, and we're also ready to take a look back. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to post our live reactions round by round of what we thought happened, because maybe we saw it a little different. I don't want to spoil
It's not that
anything.
we saw it differently. There are two conversations.
Okay.
There's who we thought won the fight via pride rules, which, sure, Lawler won the fight. But that's not what the UFC has done. That is not what the judging has done.
Not a precedent. No.
And frankly, Hendricks has adopted that GSP strategy that beat him when he had clearly beaten GSP. So I agree. Let's go watch the fight.
We're going to rewatch it. We'll be right back, and we'll see you guys. We're ready for anything, including rewatching fights. Bud Light, a proud potential sponsor of Verbal Tap Podcast. Drink it. Ding, ding! Okay, so we just finished watching round one. What were your thoughts in that round one?
Lawler comes out swinging, definitely dominates, and then I genuinely thought via UFC judging history, I really thought Hendricks won the fight because of the final takedown. I thought there were some good exchanges, but the takedown has always been like their one thing.
Judges really do look out for that. However, it happened at 30-second mark, and despite all of this, I think you'll remember I said I still scored that for Lawler.
Yeah, and I thought Lawler, but I didn't think you necessarily won the round. I thought we were going to use the whole, they're always like, hey, it's a binary. Did he take him down or didn't he? He did take him down. I
gotta say this. Lawler came out very decisive in the first minute. There was a flurry. He controlled the octagon. He really made a statement. I still feel I'm right, and that Lawler took round one.
I understand the argument, and I agree that I'll acquiesce a slight edge.
Okay.
But that is, again, in stark contrast. The takedown is usually the paramount, and there was no huge shots landed.
Okay. So I think this is the easier part of the argument. It seems like it's going to get a little more complicated as we go on.
It might get a smidge more complicated if hindsight is the
I don't know what's going to make me think any more clear than Bud Light. Ready for anything, including the second round. Don't clink. We didn't.
I thought we were going to.
No, I wasn't going to clink. Oh, we'll clink now, and now drink. Ding ding. Okay, round two is now in the books. We watched that again.
Yeah.
Okay, now walk me through what you thought happened in round two.
A lot of really good Hendricks exchanges. Hendricks seemed to be dominating it. He again did the same thing where he did a long takedown that didn't inflict any damage. My question to you, does the takedown, does it matter if it causes impact?
It depends. I feel like the UFC judges, they have this great love for takedowns. They seem to have like a base for wrestling. And it's not that wrestling's bad. It's just that sometimes it looks like more damage is inflicted. So in this round, I would say Hendricks looked like he was more of the aggressor. Would you agree with that?
I would completely agree with that.
Robbie wasn't out of the fight.
He front kicked him to the face.
That front kick was definitely memorable.
You know what Robbie Lawler did?
What
He looked like he was ready for anything.
No, we're not doing it a third time.
Oh,
no.
Set it down.
I mean,
the front kick was serious though. Like the front kick. What are you drinking on?
Well, I'm thirsty. That's all.
It is refreshing.
It is refreshing, and you know what? Never forget that. Bud Light. Never enjoy a fight without it. Is that a saying? No. Trademarked. Verbal Tap Podcast. Guys, I will say this: Robbie Lawler, I think, was getting a little bit pushed back in this.
Yeah.
At one point, what did his corner yell out?
His corner yelled out, Hendricks' corner yelled out, he's coasting!
And this is the round I still think he's a little more into it, but maybe in the next round he starts to coast.
Yeah.
Let's find out and do some more research. So we're going to go watch the next round. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Ding, ding. We just watched round E. I think that's what that said. Was it round 3? Round 3. Okay, good. Sometimes they look the same. That obviously was a round for Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Hendricks.
Johny Hendricks. I'm sorry. I was just thinking like a UFC judge. Strange how that happens.
Bud Light.
Bud Light, indeed.
Right?
Let's go ahead and look at this. Bud Light. Don't forget to leave home without it.
I don't think that's their slogan.
Oh, okay.
Is that what we're doing now?
What's the
Bud Light,
slogan?
find your beach.
Bud Light. It's everywhere you want it to be.
Bud Light. They have that dog with the bullseye on his face. Drink it.
Bud Light. Tastes great, less filling.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Bud Light. We'll ship anywhere.
Bud Light. You can drink as many of these as you want and not get DUI. What if it's not one? Not prohibited by a Bud Light.
Bud Light. Farm to table.
What does that mean?
We're in California now. I thought I had to.
You
It's
take
organic.
it from a farm to a table.
I need to look at the. Yeah, St. Louis.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Okay.
Only.
Yeah, clearly. Johny Hendricks.
Johny Hendricks. Clearly.
Yeah, that was
Johny Hendricks. Obviously, anyone that says Johny Hendricks didn't win that round is
insane.
or they're working
For the UFC. I
They're
mean,
the
49,
MMA gaming commission.
46.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment for that. I thought it was a great round for him.
Takedown won the exchanges. He won that round.
He won that round. Let's
Yeah.
not even waste any more time. Round 4. Let's do it.
Ding ding.
Round 4. Okay. I think
We did it.
we had to do it twice.
We did watch
actually
it twice. We
watched
just
because
watched 10 minutes of round 4.
this changes everything.
Huge
This is
thing.
the round that everything was decided upon.
What did you think in the first? Because you had a unique perspective. I mildly disagreed, but what did you think about the first 4 minutes? Because those are important. The first 4 are different than the last one.
I'll agree with that. I'll actually even go the first 2.5 minutes. So
Okay.
up until mid-round,
Yeah.
Johny Hendricks was out striking Robbie Lawler. I believe you can prove that by numbers.
Tries to get the takedown. Herb Dean stops him. They go back up,
Which,
and
by
then
the way,
exchanges goes
If
up.
we're being clear, I think Herb Dean won the round.
He might win this round. He
He
might
might
win this. Apparently, in the championship rounds, Herb Dean's like, "You guys are fucking fighting."
I mean, Herb
That's
Dean was just
that's
kind of
what's
like, you guys want to do something? Johnny, are you going to finish this takedown?
You're
Or,
gonna-
fuck it. Yeah, back
Not
to work.
interested. Stand them back up.
So 2.5 goes by, right?
Yeah.
I think at this point, Johny Hendricks is out striking. Now, an interesting statistic that is happening here is the UFC and Joe is commenting that right now we're at like what, a 2-to-1 ratio for striking in
it's
favor
like
of Johny
209
Hendricks.
to 105.
Now, this isn't necessarily biasing my interpretation of what's going on, but a strange thing happens when we get to that last minute and Robbie gets back into it. And within the last 30 seconds, what happens?
So Johny Hendricks tries to do the takedown, gets stuffed, gets kind of put down onto his knees, and Lawler unleashes the holy fiery hell of his elbows and his fists to try and knock into that. This is my holy fiery
that's pretty
fist.
good. I
It's
like
like
it.
a limited camera space.
It's okay.
It's
No, I
he's
got you.
like hitting him
It's more
really
like
hard.
churning butter.
and I
it's like,
think
but-
wins the fight in those last 30 seconds.
and that's the strangest part. A nice debate that Kevin and I had is, are we talking strikes
Yeah.
landed or significant strikes? Because I
Big-
think that is part of the debate that's happening.
And you
here.
know it's a great fight when that's what you're like,
Absolutely.
wait, what does significant mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we got to those last 30 seconds, Robbie Lawler did not hesitate. And actually, in those moments, if you're asking me, and I didn't think this going in, I think he landed the more significant strikes. And that's a strange thing to do, to even out a round in those last 30 seconds, which goes to show how important that is. I just think it's one of those things that really made the difference in this fight. And that's why we had to spend so much time. I think you can make contentions for those other rounds, but I think if you're looking at how this got scored, I think it happened right
And right
here.
now we're 2-2, kind of. We
Sure.
can make an argument.
We can make
for
an
2-2.
argument.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's watch that 5th round. Even though it's kind of a formality, I think we know
Is
who
it?
won.
Well,
The 5th round?
spoiler alert
Spoiler
if you're
alert.
watching this and you don't know how the fight
But
goes.
let's go see how that 5th round turned out.
Ding.
I don't think anybody will disagree on saying this was Robbie Lawler's round.
Yeah, this was the one. If it were 2-2, I get it. I do get it.
It's yeah.
He comes out majorly striking in these. Well, it's especially that last takedown.
Yeah.
He comes in for that last takedown.
He stuffs
Hendricks
Johny
comes in
Hendricks'
for the last
takedown
takedown.
and
Just starts beating the shit out of him. He draws blood with the elbows to the forehead. Ow, by the way.
I know.
Fuck ow.
So
you want to be a UFC fighter, do you? That's what it takes. You have to stand that.
I will say this. I think, Johnny was game for the first couple minutes of that.
Certainly.
He was in there, maybe a little winded, but still counter-striking really, really well.
Yeah.
And I think you hear the fans responding to the way that Johny Hendricks is fighting.
You mean when they're booing him relentlessly
They
and
are
screaming
booing
Lawler?
him, which is strange.
Responding
because,
is it? Yeah.
Didn't GSP do that to Johny Hendricks?
Yes, but it was like in Canada or
was a
something.
very
Either
different
way,
time.
this is exactly what should have happened in that fight between GSP and Hendricks. They should have rewarded the person that beat the hell out of the other guy.
And the hardest part for me to really wrap my head around was you had Robbie Lawler in the last, again, 30 seconds, maybe 40. I'll even give him that.
Go ahead.
And this is the thing I really was happy for him for. Initially, I actually had the fight scored for Johny Hendricks.
We just assumed under the normal UFC, hey, takedowns are the gold. Yeah, they're gold standard.
You get that.
They're
the
Bud Light of light beers.
Oh, hey, wait, Bud Light.
Just
give us money.
Yeah.
So the hard part about this is you see that in those last seconds, and this is why I originally wanted Robbie Lawler to win.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to vote against him initially. And I still think if you go back and watch that fourth round, it is still a very murky round that I ended up still turning around after watching it for a second time.
Yeah.
However, in those last seconds, Robbie Lawler gave us what we wanted in a fight finish.
Absolutely.
In those last 40 seconds.
And let this be a lesson to Hendricks.
Absolutely.
Don't play it safe. Throw the L-bomb. Like in any equivocal, here's the final summation for why I think Lawler should be the champion. Lawler looked like he was trying to finish Hendricks.
Absolutely.
Hendricks did not look like he was trying to finish Lawler. And that's kind of where the teeter-totter of winning. Yeah, teeter-totter.
So, I mean, I don't know that we really did. Don't hang on it. When you make a bad reference, just keep going. Just keep going. No one will ever do
the teeter-totter of
the
victory.
Teeter-totter. According to the tater-totter of justice, what are the takeaways for you on this fight? For me, I think it was continue fighting all the way. Last 30 seconds do matter.
Great advice.
You got to really make those things count.
You can win a fight with him. In fact, you could argue Lawler won in a minute of this fight. He won in the last 30 seconds of the fourth round and the last 30 seconds of the fifth round. And of course,
great time.
I'm truncating, but those were big moments in the fight.
Huge. What was Robbie saying in his post-fight analysis with Joe Rogan?
He was saying that his corner told him to go out and put the fight to him and try and win it, try and knock him out. And that's
to make sure he stops stalling. And so I think tonight is one of those rare times where when we see a wrestler trying to just hold up against the cage, and it's not to say that all wrestlers do this, but when you see
they all do
they don't all do it. But when they hold against the cage and they don't do anything with it, it is refreshing to see that the aggressive fighter still has a chance.
I honestly think this was the best judging that we've seen in a while. I just think it's a refreshing change from the norm. And frankly, that's probably what Hendricks is back there like, God damn it, I followed the GSP model and
Absolutely. And I didn't win like GSP.
Yeah. Hey, can we do Pettis now? Can we go do Pettis' fight? Because this has been real.
I don't really know that there's much to talk about in the Pettis. I thought it was pretty clear cut.
I can just talk about how good he looks in his suit. Amazing he is as a fighter.
I don't really want to subject you guys to that. Thank you guys for watching this. We really appreciate you guys doing this. And on behalf of the two of us, we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to 100 episodes of Verbal Tap.
Verbal Tap.
That is impressive that you still like us. I don't really know how you do it or how you tolerate it, but it's truly been a pleasure. My thanks to Kevin for being out here. This is the kind of fun stuff you get when you get the two of us in the same room and watching a fight. But to the rest of you guys, I just want to say thank you guys for doing that. Do you have anything else to close us out with?
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night and good fight. Deuces.